Hello everyone, this is Garrett, and once again we are going to do one of the amazing arcade games of the Miwi. This time, MX Motorstorm with a little intro for a change. With a purple bike, a purple person with a yellow bike even. And the intro falling, and him getting another bike from his pocket, because he's Guybrush Threepwood apparently. So, MX Motorstorm. I'm just gonna let it run for a moment. Just for a moment. Yeah. So, does this gameplay, music, sound effects, and general idea of the game look familiar? That's because it's highway racing all over again. Why? Why does it? Why? Well, there are at least a few differences. One is the timer, which is just completely confused here, because apparently 1 minute takes 100 seconds. Secondly is, well, it's kind of this weird fake 3D thing. I mean, clearly it's not 3D, because, well, the Miwi simply can't do that. The cars have the monster truck things, if you bump into those, you will basically fall over. The rocks have been replaced by logs, and the cars have all been replaced by those really weird green-looking motorcycles. You don't have the cars that drive all over the track anymore. You just have, well, you have turns for a change. I guess that's something. And the little progress bar on the left has been replaced by the little progress bar in the top right-ish that shows a motorcycle doing a wheelie, which is something you can't actually do. This game still isn't very good. It looks better, but there's a reason why this game looks better compared to highway racing. And I think that reason is most obvious if you look at the timer and look at how long it takes for 1 single second to pass. Let me give you a little hint. Let's see. 1, 2. It takes about 2 seconds for 1 second to pass. The Miwi can't actually handle these graphics. Once again, if you touch the side of the road, you'll stand still. This time you'll drive. I guess the reason why it takes longer to reach the finish is because the highway racing car drove 400 kilometers per hour, and this one about 50 at most. A small difference. At least the background looks kinda nice. I mean, compared to what else you see in the on the Miwi, I guess this little snowy mountain thing in the background is probably not the nicest thing you're going to see, with maybe the exception of Fish War. And we made it past the first level. And remember how in highway racing you had different looking levels? Well, funny story about that. This one doesn't really. I mean, the background kind of looks different, but maybe that's because I haven't taken turns yet. Either way, the left and right side of the road look exactly the same. For a change, you do have little startup music this time, which you also didn't have in highway racing, which was kind of peculiar. Oh, and you have weird paper bag things that are probably supposed to be puddles of water lying around on the level now. And I think that, weren't there trees before on the side of the road? Now it looks more like very, very tiny electricity poles. So yeah, we have green motorcycles. Oh, and in this level you have logs, which you can't really see coming. And if you hit them, you have this super hyper realistic fall, and the red trucks that you eat in highway racing have been replaced by bags of money, which you drive over to get some more time on your timer. And I'm not entirely sure how the timer works either, because I think the amount of time you have remaining gets added to the amount of time you have for the next level. Meaning that if you drive the first and second level perfectly, you will basically have so much time in the third level that you can stand still for a minute. And yeah, as you can see, highway racing was... Well, actually, I think highway racing looked prettier in my opinion, because this... Well, for one, we can't actually handle these graphics. And secondly, you actually had a variation of what you saw on the screen. Now you just see this pukish grass type stuff with lumps in it on the left and right side of the screen, and all the difficulty is gone. I mean, the only thing that you can really hit are the logs, because they're kinda hard to see sometimes, but you can... Because the game is running so slow, it's ridiculously easy to just avoid everything. Which is nice. Look, we have a turn, and I think the background is in fact exactly the same as in the first one. Only we haven't done the same amount of turns, because the background actually does turn with you, which is kinda nice. And I think if I remember correctly, if you hit one of those trucks from the left side or the right side, you will fall and then you will teleport to the other side of the bike for some unknown reason, probably because the sprite just ends there or something, I don't know. Either way, we almost made it to the end of the second level, and we are a lot bigger than the goal itself, but that's a small detail. Let's just go with it. And I'm sure you can guess what happens at the end of this level, but this time we have, I was going to say 1 minute and 16 seconds, but I mean 116 seconds. And with that, I actually mean 232 seconds remaining to make it to the end of this level, along with the power-ups, I guess. And the weird electricity poles have been replaced by the trees, which I think you saw on level 1, making this not very interesting to look at, now is it? Okay, maybe the background does actually change per level, because I can't remember seeing that bridge on the other levels, but I don't think anyone really cares if I'm wrong. So, look at that. Get the money, which money, well, time is money, so I guess that's where they got it from. They just put a bag of time on the floor. And yeah. Did the monster trucks change color over level as well? I mean, the bikes are still the same color, but I think they were a different color, although I'm probably imagining things to make this game seem more interesting for myself. As you may know, I still can't do commentary and play the game at the same time, which is nice. It means I get to see everything twice. Wonderful. And 1,000 points. I mean, this game is so awesome. You get 1,000 points. We can't actually see how many points you have, so the little 1,000 popping up isn't actually to be seen in the actual any screen whatsoever. I think the high score actually shows the amount of time you have left as well. And the weird sound you probably just heard in the background was a mouse, a computer mouse, falling onto a plate. I hope you're very glad to hear this, because I'm sure all of you are wondering, oh gee, what was that sound in the background, and is it going to harm me in some way, shape, or form? Probably not, unless plates hate you, or mice, I guess, but that would be kinda odd. And why would a mouse hate you? I mean, they love you. Yes. But, yeah, we're almost at the end of the third level, thank God. Almost to the very, yeah. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm sure I'm going somewhere with this, and I'm totally not just rambling and on and on and on, just so the time seems to go on faster. And we made it! Wonderful. And, of course, you see the intro again. Note that this time the game is made by SR11984, a completely random number, I guess. And once the title screen comes up, you can't really read it anymore. Well, that's this game, let's go. Bleh.